Hi, I'm Michael Yardney, and today I want to discuss a bit about timing in the property market, because some people are asking, is it too late to get into the market, because our markets have performed strongly over the last couple of years, and now that we're entering the downturn stage of the cycle, some are wondering, is it too late? Have they missed the boat? Now, I understand why they're thinking this. It's partly because it's often said that timing is everything when investing, but I'll let you into a little secret. That's not really the case. Timing is one of the most misunderstood concepts with regard to property investment. The truth is, successful property investors know how to create wealth at any point in the cycle. Sure, timing matters. Of course, you don't want to buy a property at the peak of the property boom and then wait 3-4 years until the market picks up and its value starts to rise. But successful investors find timing really isn't important. I don't know about you. Have you noticed how some investors seem to do well in good times and do even better in bad times? Market timing really isn't important for them, is it? On the other hand, other investors do poorly in good times and even worse in bad times. Market timing doesn't seem to have much effect on them either. Now, that's interesting, isn't it? So what is it that differentiates that small group of investors from the crowd? The fact that successful investors manage to make money while unsuccessful investors lose money at the same stage of the property cycle suggests to me that it's not our external world that determines whether we make or lose money. It's something inside of us. So many would argue, of course, that's right, it's knowledge. But I don't think that's quite right. Sure, they must have some level of knowledge and financial fluency, more than the average investor, yet knowledge alone doesn't make people successful investors. What allows some people to become super successful investors is their mindset, the way they think about money, the way they think about wealth. In his book, The Tale of Two Cities, Charles Dickens famously wrote, "It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness." Amazingly, things don't seem to have changed much since Dickens wrote that in 1859. Some people finding the current stage of the property cycle is giving them amazing opportunities. For savvy investors, the current time is an opportunity to buy top-class assets that are going to set them up for their financial independence in the future. These people see abundance. For others, these are the worst of times. They only see all the negatives in the media. Property prices at record high, lower capital growth, now unemployment is climbing, all the economic problems. Maybe they're saddled with investment debt secured against the wrong property, or an investment property in one of those mining towns, or one that's plummeted in value in some of the regional areas that have been stagnant. Others are lumbered with consumer debt that they're struggling to pay off. These people don't see the available opportunities. They don't see abundance. What they see is scarcity. They feel fear. You'll need more than knowledge, and you'll need more than facts. As I explained, knowledge alone just won't assure you success. I've seen some very, very knowledgeable people make some very foolish investment decisions. Interestingly, while some investors are currently getting in the game and buying great investment properties to help secure their financial future, others are waiting for the timing to be perfect. Look, I remember only last week I spoke with David. David had been waiting for around 10 years for the timing to be just right to start his investment property. The timing will never be just right. There will always be challenges, situations, circumstances, obstacles, fears and doubts, and things that you're going to have to overcome. The timing's never going to be perfect. 10 years ago, David saw some obstacles and didn't get into property investment. But if he did, chances are, wherever he bought his property, it would have doubled in value by now. Even if he'd made a mistake and paid a little bit too much, or bought in the wrong street, he would have still done well 10 years later. Wealth is attracted to people who make decisions and commitments. If you're waiting for the timing to be perfect, the time will never be perfect for you. Currently, property investors are seeing some great opportunities to buy properties as the heat of the last few years has come out of the market. Personally, I've added substantially to my property portfolio over the last few months. I guess as I did last year and interestingly the year before. I'm not worried about timing or the current stage of the property cycle. The list is long of wealthy Australian property investors who sowed the seeds of their portfolio with remarkably poor timing at the advanced stage of the last big property cycle in 2007 and 2008, just before the global financial crisis, as well as those who invested in 2003 and 2004 before the market crashed, and the same in the early 90s. These successful investors were busy doing while others were pondering. Yes, we're moving into the next stage of the property cycle and seeing some major changes in the economic landscape. While the timing may be unfavourable to some property investors right now, others are going to do very, very well over the next few years. That's the way it's always been. I'm certain 5 years from now, there's going to be a group of successful property investors who are going to tell stories about buying properties when everyone else advised them not to, when everything seemed difficult, when the media was negative. Right now. If you want to better understand what's happening in the property markets and what stage of the cycle we're at and where the various markets are around Australia, and more importantly, which properties you should buy and which you shouldn't, please join me for a series of one-day trainings I'm going to be conducting around Australia in March and April in my annual property market and economic updates. Join me at Australia's leading, most authoritative event where we have Australia's leading economist plus a group of local experts to show you what's ahead. So go to propertymarketupdate.com.au, get all the details, and I look forward to seeing you there. Are you going to take advantage of the markets? Or are you going to get caught by the traps ahead? Of course, if you're looking for independent advice, no one can quite help you like the independent property strategists at Metropole. Remember, we've got no properties for sale, but we've got access to every property on the market. We've been involved in over $2 billion worth of transactions, creating wealth for our clients, and we could do the same for you. So why not have an obligation-free assessment of your current property portfolio? Or if you're just a beginner, let's have a chat about how you can get going in the property market. Just go to metropole.com.au and we'd love to catch up with you.